In this video, we'll see another way to display output to the user using a formatted output option. So I'm going to start a new subsection here. I'll call this formatted output with fprintf. fprintf. The first F stands for file and the last F stands for formatting. So that's what we're going to do. This is a formatted print option. The formatted print option gives you a lot of control over how the numbers or strings or whatever are displayed to the user in the command window. So I'll say gives you more control. fprintf takes two inputs. Let me tell you what they are. First, a string, and second, a list of variables, usually matrices, but we'll show you a few different things. So fprintf, you have a string that has a hole in it, and then you're going to fill that hole with whatever's in the variables. So let's give you an example here. Let's input let's get a height. Let's get a couple of measurements from the user, and then we'll calculate the area of a triangle. So input base of triangle, question mark, space, single quote, end parentheses, and suppress the output. Height equals input height of triangle, and again, space, quote, close parentheses, suppress the output. And now we'll say area equals base times height. Oops, gotta use capital H because I used capital earlier. Base times height divided by 2. So it's going to work. Suppress the output because we are going to take control over how we provide the output to the user. So even more suppressing the output than before. So here's how it works. I say fprintf, and then I'm going to put in the string. The area is blank. And here's where I want my blank. And your blank always, it's not actually a blank. To tell MATLAB here's where the blank is, you're going to use a percentage sign and then a letter. And the first letter we'll look at how to use is F. This is called a special character or an operator. So the area is F, and then I can keep going with my string, maybe centimeters, and period, and whatever you want. So notice I didn't close the string and restart it. That %F is right there in the middle of my string. Now I close the string, and now we need to tell fprintf where to pull values from. So the variable that storing the name, the variable that is storing the value I want to display, I called it area right here. So that's why I need to tell fprintf, here's your string, it's got a hole in it, here's the value to put in that hole. Let's see what happens. Let's go ahead and run this. So let me put in centimeters since I called it centimeters. All right, run section. Base of the triangle, let's say it's 10 centimeters. Height of the triangle is, I don't know, 17. And now it's going to do the calculation and present me with a sentence. It looked like one complete sentence, which is really cool. Notice nowhere up here did I type 85, right? I had the answer stored as a variable called area, and then I used that variable in this fprintf command. And so let me tell you why it's F. F stands for fixed point. So there's a couple of different Fs. This one stands for file, this one stands for formatted, this one stands for fixed point format or display option. So that's why we've got so many zeros here. We can change this if we want. There's a bunch of different options, and I'll show you another one here. Let me copy this exact same line. The %F stands for fixed point format. So I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to change that F to a D instead. D is for decimal. Well, it's 4 decimal, but it means integers. So we can also use %I as another option. I'm going to comment this one out so I get only one. I'll say CLC so that we get a nice fresh start. Run section. let's say 8 and 14, and I get 56 centimeters. Notice I don't get that .0000 anymore because I'm not using F, I'm using D or I. Same thing. Run section, base of the triangle in centimeters. Sorry, that's hard to see. 10, 12, 60 centimeters. All right, so at this point you might be saying, why am I not getting that last new line? And it's because MATLAB, this is very specific. I have not told it I want a new line. We can add that in by including slash n for a new line. By the way, slash r is for carriage return. Did I do it the wrong way? I did. I always do that. It should be a backslash. So let's be very careful and make sure these are backslashes. It's pretty common to get it the wrong way, in my defense, but it's really obvious if you do it the wrong way because I'll show you. If I do slash n, let's clear this, CLC, run section 18 and 2, and it just says, oh, here's that last bit of the string you wanted. Oops, not what I want. So let's change that to a backslash. And the R is for a carriage return, which is basically the same as a new line. So you'll see these used interchangeably. Feel free to use N all the time if you want. I try to do that. There's a couple other special characters we'll talk about later, but for now let's just finish this up by clear. Sure, let's clear it all in CLC and run this section and give a nice big 78 and 21, and we get the area is 819, and we got a new line. So now my prompt is back on a new line. So this is a basic formatted output. So far we've only looked at %F and %D or I. There are a couple other options we'll get to in our next video.